This is Ben at Nintendo Fanboy, and this is our Wii Music video review. If any game has been the target of gamers' most positive and negative attention in 2008, it just might be Wii Music. For anyone who's played it, there probably isn't a lot of in-between with this title. You're either in love with it, or you think it's the most boring music game ever created. Now, Wii Music is quite a bit different from any other entry in the music genre. Nintendo took a very unique approach from the far more popular Guitar Hero or Rock Band style, and tried to open up the experience in ways that haven't been done before. The result is a game with more complexity and more depth than your traditional Guitar Hero title, but that depth comes at the cost of demanding more from players in terms both of time and of creativity. Let's explore what I mean by that. When you start the game for the first time, you'll be introduced to your Wii Music tutor, Sebastian Toot. You'll also be stuck with him for the next 30-odd minutes as he walks you through the basic mechanics of playing the dozens of different instruments available to you, and forces you into playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star a few times to get the hang of his instructions. I can understand what Nintendo was trying to do here, because it's not easy to make great-sounding music with Wii Music. If your average player were to simply jump right into the game with no direction, they'd probably become frustrated pretty quickly. Even so, there should have been a way to skip most of this tutorial. More experienced gamers could likely explore things out themselves after the first 5 minutes of learning how to play the 4 types of instruments. Once you're done with the introduction, you'll be able to get into the meat of the game. It doesn't take long to unlock all the content that Wii Music has to offer, but there's plenty to keep you busy for a long time. The core game, called Jam Mode, allows you to pick from 50 different songs to play with up to 3 of your friends. Each of you can choose a different part to play in the song, ranging from melody to percussion. In addition to selecting the instrument you want for your part, you can load instrument groups from preset musical styles such as Hawaiian, rock, or jazz. There are also 5 speeds available, depending on whether you're in the mood for something a little slower or faster paced. When you get down to playing your song, you won't have any say in the notes you produce. You only decide when to play them, and to some degree the volume at which they'll come out. Everything else is pre-programmed. This mechanic is actually a very good idea, and it's also where the demand for creativity comes in. The method of play is quite a bit more flexible than Guitar Hero and Rock Band, but that flexibility makes it much easier to produce horribly offensive results. The upside is that you have much more freedom to create your own unique masterpiece. Since you're allowed to play notes at any point during a song, the game itself can't actually judge how well you've done. That's a significant departure from the norm, where most music games grade you based on note accuracy. In contrast, Wii Music asks you to grade the performance yourself. There is no other scoring mechanism in Jam Mode. For solo players, the most important part of Wii Music is its support of overdubbing, which allows you to play all 6 parts of your band one at a time and put them together to form the final piece. My first such arrangement is something I call the Hillbilly Minuet. In addition to the main game, there are also 3 mini-games that are each entertaining in their own right. The first, Mi Maestro, lets you conduct your own orchestra by waving your Wii Remote like a baton to keep time. As you speed up or slow down, the orchestra will respond in kind, allowing you to emphasize different parts of the music as you see fit. Of course, the most important aspect of this minigame is that you can conduct your orchestra in the performance of the epic Legend of Zelda theme, a song worthy of a full orchestral arrangement if I've ever heard one. The second minigame is Handbell Harmony. Here you're given 2 handbells that each play a different note. The handbells correspond to your remote and nunchuck, and you'll have to shake each one as your respective handbell icon passes by on the board below. Up to 4 players can hold their own 2 handbells, and it's a truly fun and often humorous experience to play with others as you try to make the song sound right. My only complaint about these first 2 minigames is that out of the over 50 songs in Wii Music, only 5 are available in Mi Maestro, and another 5 in Handbell Harmony. These games could have had much more lasting value with 15 or even 20 songs each. The third minigame, Pitch Perfect, asks various questions that require a sense of pitch and/or timing to answer correctly. For instance, the game will play a 3-note chord and present several different notes to you, then ask you to select the 3 that make up the chord. There are 8 levels of difficulty in Pitch Perfect, and by the time you reach level 8, you'll have to listen pretty hard to come up with the right answers. It's fun and challenging, but I prefer Handbell Harmony myself. Lastly, I'll talk about the song selection available in Wii Music. As I mentioned before, there are quite a few to choose from, but some might complain about the inclusion of many public domain songs which consist of all-time hits such as Yankee Doodle, Turkey in the Straw, and Happy Birthday to You. I won't claim that I wasn't disappointed by some of the music in the game. However, in a pick-up-and-play title like Wii Music, song recognition is everything. Quite honestly, the final song list was probably necessary in order to achieve the desired effect, which was to make the songs accessible to the widest possible audience. While there are plenty of other songs I would have loved to see make the cut, including more of Nintendo's own anthems, I understand that this was a conscious design decision, so I won't dwell on criticizing this limitation. My biggest gripe about the game is its sound quality. The music is sequenced in MIDI. There's nothing wrong with that, and like the song selection, this aspect is necessary to achieve Wii Music's goals. But MIDI can sound better than it does in this game. Some of the instruments are just fine. The piano, for instance, doesn't need a lot of improvement and sounds believable enough. But instruments like the bagpipes and accordions sound essentially nothing like their real-life counterparts. It would have been nice if Nintendo had used better sound samples for the game's synthesizer. It's not a game-breaking annoyance, but it would have improved the experience greatly. In closing, Wii Music is probably the most accessible and the most challenging music game around. The accessibility and the challenge both come from the incredibly flexible jamming mechanics devised especially for the title. Even so, it's unlikely this game will ever see the level of financial success achieved by its siblings, Wii Sports and Wii Fit. It has a lot of potential for widespread appeal, but it doesn't have the same kind of hype associated with it. In addition, people's experience with Guitar Hero-style games might not leave them open to such a different experience, even one as rewarding as Wii Music's. Is the game worth buying? Judging by the enjoyment I've gotten out of it, I'd say it is. But if you have any doubts, give it a rent first. It won't appeal to everyone, and others might like it, but think $50 is a bit steep for what's offered. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy Wii Music.